Hello everybody, welcome to the final race of the weekend here in the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. I'm Chaz Draycott.
I'm Louise Schofield, and we are about to get well and truly stuck into race 4, aren't we? I can't wait.
Absolutely, yeah. Race 3 was a very interesting occasion. It's actually sunnier now, and we thought we jinxed the weather earlier.
We did. I was stood in the pit lane. I was getting blown away by the wind, and I was thinking, me and Chaz have ruined this for everyone. We've said about nice weather, and now it's windy, and it looks like it's going to rain.
Yeah, we brought the British weather with us.
We really have. We try to leave it at home, but sometimes it just follows us, you know what I mean?
It does, yeah. But it's absolutely fantastic conditions once again now for the final race of the weekend. It's been a very, very interesting weekend so far, though, with lots of topsy-turvy results and things changing around quite a lot. So the Wingfoot Award's going to be interesting. We'll get to that in a short while. But for now, we have some wonderful highlight pictures for you from race 3, which just was an absolute corker of a race. As you can see, a fantastic third race of the weekend. An interesting scenario, though, Louise, with obviously having that red flag to start it all off.
Yeah, absolutely. We were a little bit behind anyway, and then that obviously is kind of putting us back a little bit on the old timings. But
yeah,
you know, these things happen, and the race has to be stopped. It has to be stopped, you know. Yeah. So it's got to be safety first, as we've shown a few clips about it as well. So safety always does come first.
Yeah.
But we have got a few season firsts this year, and we have the Goodyear Wingfoot Award for the first time this year, which is very exciting. And there's a few nominees. Isn't there, Chaz?
Yes, there absolutely is. Yeah, the panel have decided that their nominees for this weekend are number 81, Mark Taylor, number 77, René Reinert, and number 30, Sasha Lenz. Each of them have had different amounts of solid performances over the weekend. René Reinert starting the weekend with a gearbox failure, coming through to be on the front row of the grid. Today, having an engine change and now coming through to be back on the front of the grid. He's had a bit of a wild weekend, hasn't he?
Absolutely, yeah. It's been ups and downs, but sometimes it is that way, isn't it? But if you do want to vote as well, I mean, it's lovely to see so many fans here across the weekends, across the season as well. So, you know, it's great that the fans can get involved. And if you do want to vote, you can head over to Instagram and drop your vote on there as well, which I think is nice. It's a nice, easy and quick way to show us who you're loving this season.
Yeah, absolutely. There will be a QR code in the bottom right of your screen over the course of the race as well. That'll be shown a number of times, so you can scan that. Even if you don't want to head to Instagram directly, you can just scan that and put your vote in from there. But we've got 3 drivers that I think will be very deserving. I mean, Mark Taylor had a great day yesterday.
Yes.
Didn't quite get the chrome win in race 3, but still, he's up there with Bradley for this one.
That's exactly it. So I think it's going to be it's going to be, I always find it quite interesting because on the Instagram you can see as it's going up and down, can't you? So you can see the poles kind of changing. So, you know, sometimes you're going to see how it goes. So I think it's quite exciting to watch on the old Instagram as well. So
absolutely. We do have a clip, though, from when we were in Misano. We had a good chat with Goodyear and Davide Califano, and he explained how it all works with the Goodyear Wingfoot Award.
Hey, look at this, how exciting. I'm stood next to the Goodyear Wingfoot Award, which is looking absolutely stunning. Davide, tell us a little bit about this award.
Yeah, the Wingfoot Award is an award which is introduced by Goodyear in the championship, where Goodyear is the sole tire supplier, the most important championship. So it's awarded in the FIA WEC championship, is awarded in the British Touring Car Championship, in the European Le Mans Series, and as 2026 we are bringing into the Goodyear FIA TRC, so we're very excited about this.
So exciting, and also it's a way that it connects the fans and the community together, because the fans do get to vote, don't they? Tell us a little bit about how that works.
Yeah, the Wingfoot Award is this is really the special thing about this award, because this is really awarded from the fans, meaning that on the Sunday there will be 3 nominations, 3 drivers will be nominated, and at the moment the fans will be able to play their role. So at the moment they can go on the Instagram page of the Goodyear and the official Instagram page of the Goodyear FITRC, and they can vote the driver who, according to their opinion, had the most astonishing performance over the weekend. So there's also something which makes this trophy very special, because also for the driver itself it's a recognition not only of the pure performance on the track, but also recognition from their fans. So that sounds very, very interesting and nice.
Absolutely, and I think there's lots of new things happening as well this year, and this being a bit of the cherry on the top, isn't it, this?
Yes, that's exactly how it is, yes.
Thank you, Davide. Thank you very much. There we go. So that is a little bit about the Goodyear Wingfoot Award, and that includes Sasha Lenz, Mark Taylor and Rennie Reinhardt as well. You can vote again via Instagram, and there is also a QR code, I believe, coming up on the screen that you can scan if you want to make it a little bit easier for yourself. Now, we could have a quick chat with Mark Taylor as he's here on the grid, actually. We could see how he's feeling about being nominated for the Wingfoot Award. It's nice to have something brand new into the season as well, so I think it's very exciting, and it's a beautiful award, as we saw a little bit earlier on there. But it's going to be interesting to see who's going to take that top spot. But I can chat with Mark Taylor now. Mark, you're nominated for the Goodyear Wingfoot Award. How do you feel?
Yeah, it's good to be in for a chance. So shows that we're pushing for coming along. So yeah. And it's nice to see that people are voting as well.
That's it, absolutely. It's a beautiful award as well. It's going to be nice if you can take that home with you today. We'll have to wait and see. But how are you feeling about race 4?
Just same as the others, just keep it calm, have a steady race, bring the truck back, hopefully all good. No trouble. Oh, brilliant. Well, Mark, best of luck. We'll leave you to it. There we go. I wonder if we have any other of our... should we go and chat to Sasha Lenz and see how he feels about being nominated for the Wingfoot Award? It's very exciting, actually. I mean, I got a chance to see it outside of the case as well. So I feel like that is a little bit of a... nice little one from me. So there we go. The trucks are lined up as well for race 4, which is very exciting. It's going to be an interesting one. I can't wait to see how this one's going to pan out. I'm going to see how it goes. Let's just see how Sasha feels about being nominated for the Wingfoot Award. Just doing a few little checks first. Sasha, I'll just let him carry on a little bit. There's a few bits that they're just going through right now, so we'll just chill in. But yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting one. See how it goes during the races. But I think, is there anyone else here that's been nominated for the Wingfoot Award right now? Let's have a little look. So we have Mark Taylor, it's Sasha Lenz, and also Rennie Reinhardt, but we haven't got Rennie here right now at this moment in time. We might be able to quick chat to Sasha actually, see how he feels about being nominated. Let's just go and have a quick chat as we can. There we go. Sasha, how do you feel about being nominated for the Goodyear Wingfoot Award?
Sorry, say again.
How do you feel about being nominated for the Goodyear Wingfoot Award?
I don't know. I hear the first time that you tell me.
There we go.
Oh, for sure, really?
That's
oh. Everybody, please vote for my name, and I hope I win the award.
There we go. There you go. That's a nice little incentive for race 4, huh?
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. There we go. We're making dreams come true on the grid. That's nice, isn't it? We're making it really lovely. That's really nice. There we go. Well, we are lining up now as well. We are. It's getting quite warm again now. Me and Chaz did say that we did cause better wind. I feel like the wind was kicking off a little bit, but I feel like these are quite nice conditions for racing. I think they are a really nice feeling. Now, just to reiterate as well, if you do want to vote for the Goodyear Wingfoot Award, you can head over to Instagram, and if you head over to the stories and highlights, you can drop your vote onto there for your favourite driver. You've got to see who. There's lots of different fans here for lots of different drivers, which I think is really nice. So it's nice to bring in the fans into it, and for the first time in the season as well. I think that's a really lovely time. I mean, the Wingfoot Award is up here if you wanted to have a quick look at it again. It is ready to. It's sitting in the glass case, and I have actually held it. It's quite heavy, actually. it's quite a heavy award, and it's going to look very nice on a mantelpiece in the bathroom. Wherever you want to put it, really. It's up to you, on the shelf. So I think it'd be interesting to see where the drivers would like to put it on. So there you go. But we are going to be back very, very shortly to welcome our TV audience in. So just bear with, and I will be with you very, very soon.
Huh?
Oh, no problem. We've got to chat to Luke Garrett, basically. Welcome to the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. We're going to have a quick chat to pole setter Luke Garrett for you. Just have a quick chat if we can just scoot in here. Luke, how are you feeling?
All good.
Good?
All good, yeah.
Yeah. How's it been this time round? Has it been okay over the weekend?
We're still experiencing a few issues, but obviously happy to have a podium, and obviously to be starting on the front row of the grid is obviously a big achievement for us, because last year, beginning of the season, we were very slow at getting going. So yeah, looking forward to it. It's obviously a bit daunting having all the big boys behind, but yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, best of luck. I think the conditions are quite nice now as well. It's a good temperature as well, isn't it? So it should be good. Thank you so much. No Cheers. All right then. So I think we are gearing up now. How exciting for race 4. Final race of the weekend. Chaz, right back to you.
And there we go. There is a helicopter overhead here at the Slovakia ring. It is an Mi-8, if I am not mistaken. It's called a HIP, as the NATO code word is for it. It's a Soviet-built helicopter, a lovely, lovely example of a wonderful colour scheme as well. And the aviation nerd in me really does love to see this flying overhead. It's a big old bit of kit. They have been flying a long, long time of the Mi-8s. The Slovakian Air Force now has a number of these examples. They have Mi-14s, which are the more updated versions of this aircraft. They also have UH-60 Blackhawks as well, an American-built helicopter, but it's fantastic to see it organised to be part of the display here this weekend, and of course part of the event as well. We've had a number of displays by a stunt aircraft over the course of the weekend, and now we send our big thanks to the Slovakian Air Force for allowing this beautiful Mi-8 to be a part of the weekend. It's really, really cool to see. My main two interests are aviation and motorsport, so to see this thing flying around is absolutely magical, and if you forgive me, I will be taking a picture or two as this thing flies back through, because it's not often that I get to combine my two loves quite like this. It's quite an experience to be here at the Slovakia ring and see just how much of a fantastic event they put on here, but to also have the helicopter on site as well is rather special. We've got beautiful conditions here this weekend. We've got a lot to look at. And to have the massive shadow of this Mi-8 coming past the commentary box is awesome. But it's great that it's not just one fly past as well. We didn't get a lot of details on what it was going to be doing, actually, whether it was just going to be one fly past or whether it was going to be a number of them. I'm happy to say it's doing quite the display for us here. This is the circuit that it's flying over, though. We're going to have a look here at the Slovakia ring. 6-kilometre circuit, 14 corners, and as you can see, the wind has picked up. The temperature, as a result, has dropped as well. But this track has been a big challenge for a number of our drivers here this weekend, and I think a few of them have really been feeling the strain. Even their machines as well. It's been quite harsh on gearboxes so far this weekend, this track. And engines also struggling to maintain full power. The tyres have been really, really struggling as well, but that's just part of racing. It's nothing to say anything about the quality of these wonderful Goodyear tyres. We have Luke Garrett on pole position then, with René Reinert alongside him on the front row. As you could hear, Luke was a little bit nervous about some of the big boys, as he called them, behind him. But he's going to do his best to defend and hold that position at the front of Chrome. The only problem for him is that the second row of the grid directly behind him is Mark Taylor and Bradley Smith. So they're right there waiting to take more points away. Steffi Halm will start 5th on the grid with Antonio Albacete alongside. Then it's Sascha Lenz and Norbert Kish on the 4th row, the top two from race number 3. Louis Requenco will start 9th on the grid in his new Mercedes. He's alongside John Newell in 10th. Then we will have Clemens Hecker and Stefan Faas in 11th and 12th places. I did see a document earlier that Jose Eduardo Rodriguez has requested to start this race from the back of the grid. Lovely sight there as the MI8 flies by very low and in front of the commentary box. One of the coolest things I've ever seen at a racetrack, that is. I wish I was taking a picture that time, because that was the lowest and closest it's been. But yeah, Louis Requenco will be starting maybe to get a bit more confidence in that Mercedes this race. I've been thinking all weekend about how confident he will be getting as the track time continues. But we have the 5-minute board shown now at the front of the order. And one of the major talking points is the fact that Jochen Hahn will very likely not be taking part in this race. I saw the truck being pulled out of the pit lane just earlier, only just as the rest of the trucks were making their way to the grid. And they had to lift the rear end of the truck away. It was a gearbox issue that stopped them from continuing in the weekend. And if they kept the rear wheels on the ground, it basically wouldn't move. It was almost like the whole thing had seized up. So right now, it's going to be 12 trucks on the grid by the look of it, unless we do get Jose Eduardo Rodriguez back there. But I can see the back row of the grid right in front of our commentary box window here. And it only contains Stefan Faas and Clemens Hecker. There's no row beyond that where Jose Eduardo Rodriguez would be. So it's interesting that it may be an opportunity to score points, maybe more, for some drivers that obviously don't have as many competitors to get through at this point. But there you can see the Goodyear Wingfoot Award. Plenty of pictures being taken of that wonderful award on the front of the grid. And throughout the race, you will see a QR code in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. And that will take you straight to the series Instagram page where you can vote for your favourite driver to win of the three. So the three nominees are number 81, Mark Taylor, number 30, Sasha Lenz, and number 77, René Reinert. All three drivers having interesting weekends so far. René with that 7th place finish. Sure, 7th doesn't sound like the most glorious of race results, but when you've started 14th on the grid right at the back and made your way through after what a tough weekend they've had, it is a hell of a performance. 3-minute board is shown at the front of the grid just now. There are the three nominees on the right-hand side, René Reinert, Sasha Lenz and Mark Taylor. Get your votes in now and you will see a QR code on the right. There you go. If you scan that and go to the FIA ETRC official Instagram page, then you'll be able to put your votes in and pick a winner from the three. We will present them with the Wingfoot Award after the 4th race. And I'm sure they'll be absolutely over the moon with it. They also win a full set of 6 tyres for their race truck as a result. All the personnel now being asked to leave the grid. There is the Reverse Racing team. They always look so determined, so focused. And there is our cameraman at the front of the grid, focusing on number 77, René Reinert. The FIA officials there overlooking proceedings. There's the little drone in the middle of the grid as well. And there is the reverse shot of the Goodyear Wingfoot Award. There is Marco Perli, our cameraman. He's an absolute star. He's been looking after me and Louise really well this weekend, always making sure that we are well looked after and that we are safe and secure in our jobs. Speaking of safe and secure, we have the 2 members of staff on the front of the grid there with the yellow flags to make sure the drivers stay well away from the Goodyear Wingfoot Award. But as they leave the grid, they usually do stay in a straight line anyway, 2x2 formation. And it's going to be that truck there, Luke Garrett, number 42, British driver, starting on pole position. And after taking his first podium of the season in Chrome earlier today, he's going to be full of confidence, but maybe with the number of Titan drivers behind him, he might have to try and hold back that confidence and just keep it tidy and clean throughout this final race of the weekend. Happy to say that the weather conditions have been fantastic all the way through so far. And touch wood, the rain doesn't come anytime soon. There's a lot of dark clouds over the horizon, but it doesn't look like they're going to be of any major threat to us. We should remain in sunny conditions for the remainder of the day. There is the Goodyear Wingfoot Award now, in the middle of the grid. It's the award that all of the drivers want to get, and only 3 we have whittled it down to for this weekend can be voted for. Any second now then, the drivers and their machines will make their way off the grid and onto the formation lap, and then we'll go back over the grid order, and we are led away by the official pace truck of the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship, with the Goodyear Wingfoot Award being kept nice and safe in the middle. Thank you very much to the brave members of staff for standing in the middle of the grid like that. Certainly does take guts to do so. This is the fully electric pace truck that leads us away, the Iveco S E-Way, and it is beautifully demonstrated by our partner Iveco, and we thank them for their continued support of the championship, giving us beautiful examples of the official pace truck in many different forms over the last couple of years, ranging from bio-LNG machines with the huge bio-LNG drums on the side of them, to this gorgeous electric example with the updated front end as well. It's the new Iveco S-Way front end that I believe will be going and being updated across the entire range, whether it be still a more conventional diesel engine or whether it's bio-LNG or electric. And one of the things as a motorsport fan that's interesting to look forward to is the evolution of the race trucks to match the road-going versions of the machines as well. If you just listen carefully, you can hear just how serene and quiet it is down there at the moment at turn 2. You can hear the birds chirping, you can hear barely any background noise. We are very much out in the sticks here at the Slovakia ring. I'm happy to say that all around the circuit I can see a lot of umbrellas and fans sat up all on the banks. You can see them on the left-hand side of the shot there. It's great to see them finding the best vantage points. Luke Garrett will start on pole position then. He will have René Reinert alongside him on the front row. Then we have Mark Taylor and Bradley Smith, 2 of the absolute superstars of the Chrome class. Mark Taylor currently the championship leader, Bradley trying to catch up. Steffi Halm will start from 5th place. She's had a bit of a difficult weekend so far, so she'll definitely want more from the remainder of the day. Antonio Albacete got one of his best podiums of the season so far in that previous race. He'll be happy to be in 6th place. Then it's Sasha Lenz 7th, 8th place. Norbert Kirsch hoping to take the clean sweep this weekend. We'll keep our eye on him from the start. Then it's Louis Requenco in 9th and John Newell completing the top 10. He's going to be definitely fired up to go further forward in this race. Clemens Hecker will start in 11th place with Stefan Fass alongside him. And unfortunately, we will not have Jose Eduardo Rodriguez or Jochen Hahn starting this race. A big shame to lose out on 2 of the quickest drivers in the series, but that is how racing goes sometimes, and unfortunately the gearbox troubles will be keeping Jochen Hahn in the paddock and out of this race. And Jose Eduardo Rodriguez clearly with too much damage from the earlier accident. We got sent some images of the incident earlier on today, with a big thanks to Gabor Magyar, and I was sent them by a good friend of mine, Peter Vermosi. And the amount that Jose Eduardo's truck cleared the ground was amazing. So the initial contact wasn't actually left front to right rear. It more looked like René had some sort of incident and spun on his own in front of Jose Eduardo. Jose Eduardo went to avoid him and then clipped the right rear, and the truck went very high in the air and landed in the gravel trap. Luckily the right way up, but yeah, it was quite the impact. And obviously with the fantastic safety of these racing machines, as we've been speaking to Franz Steilberg about this weekend, the incredible safety, the structural rigidity of these racing machines, both drivers were completely unharmed and able to continue on with their day with no need for medical checks or anything at all. They were absolutely fine and dandy, just maybe a little bit miffed that their trucks had been damaged. Into turn 10 we go then, and it's an interesting front row. So this is, like I said before, is the second opportunity this weekend for René Reinert to take a win on a day where he started it with the engine completely out of the truck. There could be quite the interesting finale to the weekend here. It'd be very exciting to see if we get a repeat of René Reinert versus Norbert Kish at the front of the order. It's more than likely that Norby will make his way to the front. He's so good at overtaking around here. It's one of those circuits that really allows a driver to set a manoeuvre up. So in one corner you can take a different line to your competitor, get a better run than them into the braking zone for the next corner, and then send it down the inside. But we'll see how it goes. Another reminder before we get the race underway that René Reinert, Sasha Lenz and Mark Taylor are your 3 Goodyear Wingfoot Award nominees, nominated by our anonymous panel here at the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. And you can scan the QR code on screen and vote via Instagram on which one of them you would like to see declared the winner. It's great to get the fans involved and some more fan engagement as the races go on over the weekend. And the driver that wins gets 6 tyres from Goodyear. 6 brand new ones, not scrubbed or retreaded or anything. Just for clarity. And around the final corner we go then with the Iveco SE-Way peeling off, looking magnificent as it does so. And for the final time this weekend, our trucks will roll up to the start-finish line. They'll stare at the lights on the gantry. The engineers will be ready to go. And they will shout, "Go any second now." And the race is underway from the Slovakia ring. And look at that start by Antonio Albacete. Bradley Smith really going backwards there as he gets on the power, seemingly having some sort of trouble because he's got a lot of black smoke coming out of the truck as well. That goes against the way that we do things here. But look at that for the lead. 3 wide. Mark Taylor through the middle between Luke Garrett and René Reinert. They're going to rub panels. There's a bit of contact on the way in. There's a bit of smoke as well. Looks like Luke has actually kept it in front of the other 2 just behind René, getting shoveled out to the left-hand side. Bradley Smith now getting going again from, well, effectively the back of the pack, but there's a lot of smoke coming from that machine. Not quite sure what's happened there. Steffi Halmer's up to 3rd place. René Reinert has been shoveled back to 4th. Mark Taylor around the outside trying to take 2nd place. What a start by Mark Taylor. He says, flipping it, give me that Wingfoot Award now. May as well. René Reinert round the outside of Antonio Albacete. Norbert Kish round the outside of Sasha Lenz. Clemens Hecker just on the back of Louis Requenco in there. And then John Newell trying to get through on the right-hand side. Look at Norbert Kish round the outside. 3 wide through turn 3. Trying to take it all the way around the outside of his teammate. Doesn't quite work there, but he's so confident on the brakes. It's just amazing to watch every single time. But René Reinert has really gone backwards here at the start. Down into 4th position. 5th position now, in fact. Now that he's been overtaken by Antonio Albacete. There's that dust cloud that we've been talking about. They need to be careful of kicking that up because drivers could end up reported to the race stewards for that. But Luke Garrett will be happier than anything that he's managed to stay in front of the drivers behind. He's had a little bit of contact here and there. You can see the bodywork actually rubbing against the tyre. Hopefully that doesn't cut it down or anything. This tyres are very, very sturdy. So fiberglass shouldn't really be doing anything to cut through. It's usually more when the rear wheel or the actual alloy itself has cut through the tyre. Mark Taylor is looking very immediate though, trying to go for the race lead round the outside. Luke says no thank you, and look at that, Steffi Halm in 3rd place it is. Stumbled for a moment there because I wasn't sure, but Steffi 3rd place, going for 2nd now, down the inside. It's actually, no, Mark has gotten ahead of Luke. I do apologise. Luke has lost out and now down to 3rd place. So Mark Taylor leads this race. Steffi Halm 2nd, Luke Garrett 3rd, Antonio Albacete 4th, René Reinert 5th, and it's Norbert Kish ahead of Sasha Lenz, and Louis Requenco completes the top 8 drivers at the minute. He's got John Newell, and right behind him, Clemens Hecker as well. Everybody scrapping for positions as they go down towards turn 13. Looks like Norbert Kish has gotten alongside René Reinert just looking out the window, but Mark Taylor in the MAN leads the way. Norby not quite able to keep the overlap into turn 13 there, and Stefan Faas has gotten ahead of Clemens Hecker, and there is Bradley Smith at the back, and it looks like he's slowing it down. Oh, not more reliability issues for Bradley Smith. He had such a great start to his day with the first chrome win of the season for him in the squad. Looks like he's going to be either coming into the pits to make sure that he doesn't damage the truck further, or he's going to try and complete one more lap. Yeah, I haven't seen him come through out of the window. Oh, dearie me, that is such a shame for Bradley Smith. As through goes Norbert Kish on his teammate René Reinert. And there he is, Bradley, not in the Hyundai, he's in the truck. Making his way back into the paddock very slowly. That is a massive, massive shame. Norbert Kish already up to 5th place then. 1 lap in the books. And he has already gained 3 spots from 8th on the grid. Start placing your bets now. See whether he can take his 4th and final win of the weekend. Bradley Smith limping back into the paddock. That is such a shame. We'll have to try and find out what the problem was, but the truck just didn't get going off the line, and there was a lot of black smoke coming out the right-hand side of it as well, so not a clue what the problem was. They did have a compressor failure earlier in the weekend, so hopefully nothing to do with that recurring after the repair. Steffi Halm is now up into 2nd place ahead of Luke Garrett. Luke Garrett's still on for an overall podium, but there's a long way to go in this race. He'll just be trying to defend as cleanly as he can, not overdo it, because let's not forget that if, as a driver, you defend too aggressively, you can often harm yourself more than doing yourself any good. You can see the bodywork there on the left-hand side, really pushed in, and that left rear wheel arch is moving around quite a lot as well. Antonio Albacete all over the back of him right now, hoping to try and make early positions in this race. Norbert Kish waiting in the wings in 5th position, but there's not much waiting when you Norbert Kish down the inside by Antonio Albacete, way too deep into there. Well, I said waiting in the wings for Norbert Kish. That's exactly what he was waiting for. Antonio sends it down the inside, way too hot into turn 10, and thank you very much, says Norbert Kish. Luke Garrett will be wondering what he did to everybody after the start of this race. He's getting passed from pillar to post. The Titan drivers are welcoming him with, well, I was going to say open arms, but it's more of a knuckle to the face, isn't it? Mark Taylor then leads it from Steffi Halm. Chrome driver leads the way, with Steffi in 2nd. Norbert Kish in 3rd position. Bit of a bobble on the inside of the curb there. Everybody now nose to tail just behind them. A lot of dust being kicked up out of that final corner there. Just as they go slightly over the curb, there is an incident between Luke Garrett and Antonio Albacete being noted. That is of no surprise to anybody, I don't think. And Bradley is now confirmed as out of the race. I mean, we saw him go back to the paddock, but thank you to my good friend Dominic, who has just said that he's basically had a power issue. No power at all and a lot of black smoke coming out. So even if he would have continued, he probably would have gotten a flag for black smoke anyway, even if he was able to complete the race. So your 3 Goodyear Wingfoot Award nominees are quite spread out in the pack, actually. One of them leads this race at the moment. Mark Taylor making a fantastic case for himself, but there's 2 of them on screen now. Sasha Lenz and Rene Reiner currently running in 6th and 7th positions. Sasha started 7th and he's just sort of remained there at the minute, not able to make any early ground. But he's got the attentions of Louis Requenco, John Newell and Stefan Fass all over him. Louis looking to go down the inside. The incident between Luke and Antonio is under review. I imagine Luke probably not too pleased with that. I don't imagine that Antonio is too pleased with himself either, to be honest. After going in that deep on the brakes and making a big move. But I imagine the field will slightly calm it down for just a moment now in the next lap or two. But I guess this weekend has taught us that we really never know what to expect. It's been such a crazy weekend here at the Slovakia ring. Norbert Kish has been on form as ever, but in terms of reliability and incidents behind and position changes, it's been all over the shop. Right now, we've got a number of trucks in the middle of the field there, right together. I believe it's behind Sasha Lenz that the guys are stuck together. In fact, Rene Reiner just in front of them isn't quite able to get away at this point. So we've got some fantastic battles going on here as they head down now into turn 10 once more. John Newell trying to close in on Louis Requenco. Everyone in front trying to close in on Luke Garrett. An incident between Luke Garrett and Antonio Albacete is now under investigation by the stewards. I'm not sure what the different wording is between under review and under investigation, but they're doing something about it and having a look. We'll see whether anybody can be deemed at fault. I'm not quite sure Luke Garrett did anything wrong from what we saw on the cameras, but it may look different from the perspective of the driver and obviously from race control, so they'll do their job. I'll speculate about it and everyone will go home happy at the end of the day, I'm sure. 6 trucks right together. Luke Garrett ahead of Rene Reiner and Sasha Lenz. Then these 3 Chrome drivers all together. Louis Requenco, John Newell and Stefan Fass battling over 8th, 9th and 10th. They're actually battling for the final spot on the Chrome podium because Mark Taylor is currently at the top of that. and at the top of the race. Look at this, he's breaking away, is Mark. He was saying to me just the other day, he's got to try and find that sort of 1 second deficit from a lot of the Chrome drivers to the Titan drivers, and this weekend he's really shown us some fantastic pace. Now Luke Garrett's bodywork on the left-hand side there is looking a little bit suspicious. I imagine it's quite difficult to follow that for René Reinert, because it looks like the truck isn't travelling in the direction it's actually going in. It's a bit of an optical illusion there. It's like dazzle camouflage that they used to use in the Navy. But, oh, well, there's nothing dazzling about that anymore. There you go. He sheds it off round turn 2. As a racing driver once told me, you can't get a black and orange flag for bodywork if it's not attached. I think Luke has lobbed that away completely. Not intentionally, of course, but that is that's the effects of the cornering forces of these trucks. But Mark Taylor continues to lead this race. Steffi Halm 2nd position, Norbert Kish in 3rd. Antonio Albacetti 4th at the moment, Luke Garrett in 5th. René Reinert in 6th position. Sasha Lenz currently in 7th ahead of Louis Requenco. I imagine Luke will be very happy if he can hold on to a podium here. But we're on lap 4 out of 8 here at the Slovakia ring. Don't be fooled by the graphic on the left, that's how many laps we've completed. But Norbert Kish all over the back of Steffi Halm now. Now he's gotten ahead of Albacetti after the incident earlier. Norby can take his time now. We know he's got good pace here. And he knows that if he needs to make an overtake, he can make it work. And he will really want to take another clean sweep here at Slovakia ring for at least the 3rd year running. In front of what is effectively his home crowd at this point. We're not here at a Hungarian racing circuit with no Hungaroring on the calendar, unfortunately. But a lot of his fans do make the trip over from Hungary into Slovakia for this round of the championship. Don't forget to scan the QR code on the right of your screen for your opportunity to vote for the Wingfoot Award winner. We've had our 3 nominees so far. And now it's up to you at home, the fans, to make it work. René Reinert has gotten past Luke Garrett, and now it's looking like Sasha Lenz wants to as well. He's going to try and go around the outside. There's contact between the two of them into turn 13. Sasha is pushed wide as a result. Don't know if Luke was just trying to go later on the brakes to hold more speed at the corner apex, but luckily they get away with it. A little bit more debris gets thrown out to the left-hand side. Both of them get to continue on. But Mark Taylor, he's doing a fantastic job at the moment. At 2:43.959. He was only 15 thousandths of a second slower than Norbert Kish on that lap. Norby trying his best to get past Steffi Halm. But Mark Taylor is the fastest truck on circuit bar Norby at the moment, 2:43.9. Norby 2:43.94 to Mark's 2:43.96. Excellent stuff. Albacetti not quite able to match the pace. René Reinert is 2 seconds slower than Mark on that last lap. Just shows you how quick Mark is. He wants to go for another Chrome Championship win this season, and he wants to try and make his way up into the Titan class. And I think this sort of pace this weekend and the performances he's been putting in has proven that he is more than capable of fitting into that Titan category. I know that his dad Alan was very happy after yesterday's performances. Went and saw them in the evening and they were very, very chuffed. I spoke to Steffi Halm in the autograph session earlier today, and she was saying it's been a bit of a difficult weekend. It's hard to get the setup right around here because of all the sweeping corners, but also the heavy braking zones. You can never decide whether you want to get the truck really sat on its nose in the brakes or whether you want to try and keep it a bit more flat and not as soft. So you can think about the cornering forces through some of the high-speed corners. There goes Norbert Kish down the inside. Steffi's going to try to get the cutback on corner exit, but no, all she can do is drive into the back of him because Norby defends it beautifully. A great, great move that by Norbert Kish. Nice and late on the brakes. Manages to put the truck in the right place at the right time on the exit as well. That is absolutely outstanding stuff. And that is why he is a 7-time champion. Moves like that. And it was amazing how quickly he went from attack to defence on corner exit. But that is, like I say, why we've seen him win 5 championship titles in a row. Sasha Lenz all over the back of Luke Garrett. He's holding on well at the minute. Louis Requenco and Stefan Fast side by side just behind that as well. Some good battles going on in the midfield here. John Newell hoping to hold on to his chrome podium here ahead of Requenco and Fast. If they continue fighting behind him, actually, John's going to be able to break away a little bit here. It's another very entertaining race here at the Slovakia ring. In the past, we've had a few races here that have been quite processional, as we say, with no overtaking, but there's been lots of it here this weekend. Just shows you how close and competitive the championship is here in 2026. There really is no way of knowing from one race to the other how anybody is going to fare. We've got 6 of them right with each other now, all the way down from 5th position down to 10th. And there is Stefan Faas in the Freightliner, right on the back of Louis Requenco. Don't forget, slipstreaming isn't really something that you need to worry about in truck racing, because you can't exceed 100 miles an hour or 160 kilometers an hour. But Stefan Faas is hoping that he can get a good run off some of these corners, use that really interesting centre of gravity that Freightliner has to give him a bit more of a handling advantage in the twisty sections. He's right up behind the back of the Mercedes now. These are 2 of the most interesting and unique trucks in the field. It's great to see them fighting together and have them in one shot, side by side. Stefan changed to the Freightliner at the start of the 2025 season. Louis Requenco brings the Mercedes for the first time here in 2026. He's been driving an Iveco for many years now, and it's the first time we've had a Mercedes in the championship since 2020, I believe. But Mercedes have a very rich history in truck racing. You'll have seen many a time that they have lots of the wonderful BP branded machines from a lot of the older pictures. They were green, actually, funnily enough, like Louis Requenco's truck is. But Mercedes had truck racing as their second priority to their motorsport programs, only second to Formula One. Just to show you how interested in it they always have been. As Louis locks up, kisses the back of John Newell's truck, and that's going to surely give the place to Stefan Faas. I mean, Stefan can get alongside roughly, but no, because Louis took the deeper line into the corner, he's able to get the run on the exit. He got very lucky there, did Louis, and so did John, to be fair. John held onto it nicely. He could have been pushed all the way around there. They've got so much weight over the front axle with where the cab is in these trucks, but he just can't sort of rely on the rear axle to sit and stick. He's gone a little bit deep into turn 10 though, and Louis Requenco just gives him a little bit of a kiss on the rear bumper there, just to say, I'm still here, John. Still filling those mirrors. I'm sure John will be thankful that the race-going version of the Mercedes Actros is not quite the ugly duckling that the road-going one is. Intrigued there that the incident between Louis Requenco and John Newell has been noted by race control. It was more of a kiss than an incident, but it's, at the end of the day, still contact that needs to be looked at. On to lap number 7 here at the Slovakia ring, and Mark Taylor leads this race by 1.6 seconds. Now, based on that previous lap, it's going to be 2 laps until Norbert Kish catches him, if they do the same laps, because Norby's done a 2:44.0, Mark has done a 2:44.8, and the gap is 1.6 seconds. As our beloved Murray Walker once said, catching is one thing and overtaking is quite another. But for Norbert Kish, it seems like it's the same thing. He's just good at both. We'll have to see how he gets on in these final few laps, and we'll have to see how much these guys can survive as well in the Chrome battle here. This is for the final Chrome podium spot. This is great stuff to watch between John Newell, Louis Requenco and Stefan Faas. As they come over the crest of the hill, it looks like there's barely even 2 trucks there, but we've actually got 3 of them all together. I don't know who's just opened the door in this office, but there's just been the most delightful breeze come through, actually, and with how warm it's been this weekend, it was very welcome. Louis Requenco's not very welcome in the rearview mirror of John Newell right now, though. He's telling him to go away, but in different words, it is John after all. Stefan Faas says, I'll get in on this as well then. Down the inside, pokes the little nose of the Freightliner through. And I'm sure we'll see the outcome in the background there. How much dust is going to get kicked up? Quite a bit as Louis Requenco goes wide, side by side with Stefan. He's around the outside now for turn 4, and he manages to get back in front, does the Spanish driver. Look at the mid-corner speed of that Mercedes. He closed right up on John there and got away from Stefan in the meantime. Really solid stuff from the Mercedes. It seems to be a really good handling platform, just needs to get the engine and the power refined for certain circuits on the calendar where it may be a little bit more prominent. But he's really pushing, is Louis. It's really quite funny because Louis is so chilled out and so laid back outside of the cockpit. It's brilliant to see him really pushing in a race like this and really going for it. Speaking about really going for it, we have one more lap. And it is Norbert Kirsch chasing down Mark Taylor. And if you're a Mark Taylor fan right now, you'll have your head in your hands, because that gap has gone down from 1.6 seconds to 0.3 of a second over the course of, well, 3/4 of a lap. It is very quickly changed. Norby is not alongside him. I can tell you, I've just seen him go past out of the window. He's just filling the mirrors at the moment, and Mark is going to do everything he can do to hold this place. But we know just how good Norbert Kirsch is. He doesn't become a 7-time champion for nothing. Mark, of course, reigning Chrome champion from last year as well. So these two are real masters in their field, and it's the two MANs right together as they go on to the final lap. And it's the final lap of the weekend here at the Slovakia Ring. It's been a wonderful racing weekend, and let's see if we get a grandstand finish like we did yesterday. Norbert Kirsch just moving out to the right-hand side to make sure he doesn't intake a lot of the hot air from behind Mark's truck. And I mean the air coming out of the exhaust, not Mark's mouth. They head out cleanly out of turn 1, up over the crest of the hill, and down towards turn 2. Really high-speed corner. Look at the amount of rubber that's been placed off the racing line. When I spoke to John Newell earlier today, he says there's a lot of pickup from the edge of the racing line. Now Norby's got a really good run out of there. Is he going to go to the inside? Mark should have just covered that off, I think. I don't know if he's actually managed to stop the overlap here. Norby has to go to the left-hand side. He's going to try and go late on the brakes here. Look at him go really late on the brakes into turn 3. Mark's going to try and keep it to the inside, make sure there's no contact. Norby's going to try and get the run on the exit. Mark needs to be really cautious about this, because Norbert could get alongside into turns 4, 5 or 6. Through turn 4 they go, the left-hand kink. Now they've got to really focus on the weight transfer. Norby's been really good on the brakes through here as well, though. Watch him try and go to the outside line. Either that or he's going to go to the inside and prove me wrong. No. Goes for the outside line. Tries to just get the overlap. If he can hold it all the way round here, he'll be down the inside for turn 8. But I don't think he's going to be able to do it just yet. Let's see. He might switch over from the right to the left. Watch the big red MAN. Is he going to go for it on the brakes? I think so. No, he tries to sell him the dummy. Goes to the outside. Mark's locked up. Norby sent him wide, and that's going to be the move. A lovely, lovely manoeuvre by Norbert Kirsch. He really set that one up. He forced the mistake out of Mark Taylor, and that is racecraft beyond racecraft. Not just sending it down the inside and throwing it in on the brakes, but forcing the other driver into a mistake and overly defending. I think Mark has held second place. I've not seen him since Norby got past him. He did it that well. We'll have to see. Norbert Kirsch, though, putting on a hell of a show there. That was absolutely beautiful. Very unlucky for Mark Taylor, but he was trying his very best to defend. He has held second place, so he's at least in front of Steffi Halm, and it'll be a second place overall. But Norbert Kirsch already knows what he's done. He's kicking the back end out as he leaves turn 12. And down towards turn 13, you can bet that you're about to see one of the finest truck racing drifts you're about to see, because for at least the 3rd year in succession, Norbert Kirsch has come here to the Slovakia Ring, a semi-replacement for his home race in the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship, and he has absolutely decimated the competition. Norbert Kirsch wins 4 out of 4 here at the Slovakia Ring. What a performance. Very well done to him and Reves Racing. Mark Taylor gets a second place and a chrome win. Steffi Halm finishes in 3rd place overall. She was very under the radar in that one, but pulls off a brilliant result. Antonio Albacetti is next up ahead of Rene Reinert. Luke Garrett finishing in 6th place overall. He'll be over the moon with that. Sasha Lenz finishes 7th ahead of John Newell. Then it should be Louis Requenco next up, Stefan Fass, Clemens Hecker, and Bradley Smith, unfortunately, out of the race. But Norbert Kirsch, once again, a clean sweep here in the Slovakia Ring. What an incredible performance. What a driver he is. And there is your podium. Norbert Kirsch, Mark Taylor, and Steffi Halm. Steffi getting that podium, that will be very, very rewarding, I'm sure, because she's had a difficult weekend so far. She got a 7th. And then, to be fair, I mean, she's had 2 podiums. She's had a 3rd, a 4th, and a 3rd, but she's not been able to get the setup of the truck right, she was telling me earlier today. So now that they've got that nailed, she's been able to put in the performance for this 4th and final race. Wonderful scenes, though, as the racing comes to a close here at the Slovakia Ring for the 2026 season. But Norbert Kish really showed us why he's a 7-time champion there. Mark Taylor defended very, very well, put the truck in the right place at the right time. However, it was that one little mistake, that one lock-up. Luckily, he didn't go completely off the circuit, and he was able to hold on to second place overall. That will mean a lot for him in the Drivers' Championship. He's on 32 points now, and I will try and quickly piece together the Chrome result. Luke Garrett got a second place. John Newell managed to finish in third position in that one. Then it would have been Louis Requenco, Stefan Faas and Clemens Hecker. Bradley Smith, like I say, out of the race. But there is Mark Taylor, your Chrome winner in the 8th race of the season in the 2026 Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. And for the second time today, it's an all-British podium with John Newell and Luke Garrett joining him. John Newell finishing third, Luke Garrett finishing second. And I think that'll be a really rewarding result for Luke as well, because he's had a really, really tough start to his campaign with this new truck, and to get the confidence underneath him now to score a result like that, he will be buzzing. And your Goodyear Wingfoot Award winner, I'm happy to say, is number 30, Sasha Lenz. Sasha was absolutely over the moon earlier when Louise told him that he'd been nominated for the award, and I imagine he will be even happier to know that he's gone and won it. Hats off to Sasha Lenz and the SL Truck Sport 30 team. What a fantastic weekend they've had, moving up into second place in the Drivers' Championship. He's had 2 podiums in the first and third races of the weekend. Sure, the second races of the day haven't quite gone his way, but he's been up there really, really consistent. Now up into second in the championship. Norbert Kish has already scored more than 100 points so far this season, on 106 now. Putting in one hell of a performance. But it all came down to a final lap overtake once again. Norbert Kish wins just under a second ahead of Mark Taylor, who finishes very well in second place, winning Chrome as well. Steffi Halm finishing in third place. Antonio Albacetti was fourth, with René Reiner in fifth place. Luke Garrett second in Chrome, sixth overall, his best result of the season. Sasha Lenz finished in 7th place, winning the Goodyear Wingfoot Award, with John Newell in 8th, ahead of Louis Requenco and Stefan Faas in 9th. Clemens Hecker finishes this race in 11th position on what was dubbed a bit of a testing weekend for them, and Bradley Smith was out of the race. There is the board that Norby is oh so familiar with parking in front of. And there is Mark Taylor in second place. He's going to be appearing on 2 podiums now, not just second place overall, but having that first place in Chrome. Considering Mark Taylor's results in the first meeting of the season, where he was 12th, 10th, 15th and 9th, to come here to Slovakia, a circuit where they struggled last year, to get 2 fifths, a 6th and a 2nd, he'll be over the moon. But speaking of over the moon, the man will be, I'm sure, happier than almost anybody else at the circuit, with 4 wins out of 4 this weekend. Norbert Kish. And what a great race. He runs and jumps on the team. I love it. I absolutely love it. We see Norby win a lot of races. It's just fact. We see him win a lot here in the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. But it's great to see that he still enjoys every single one and still makes the most of it every time he gets a victory. There's Steffi Halm with her team for the second podium of her weekend with Team Schwabentruck. They continue to put in a lot of fantastic efforts in this championship, and the silverware that will be going home with them is good testament to that. You can see that the wind has once again picked up down there as well. It's definitely windy conditions, and hugs all round for Steffi, and I'm sure that she will be very pleased to end her weekend like that. Mark Taylor finishing in second place overall. He had such a great drive through the field there, and I'm sure he won't be too disappointed to have finished second to Norby in that one. It was a very, very close finish. I think he's gone to go and congratulate Norby as well, actually. He's got to go and speak to the team first, of course. His best result of the season so far, an overall podium. And as you can see, Louise is ready to have a quick chat with our second place finisher and Chrome winner, Mark Taylor.
Mark, how was that for you? You held out so well there.
Yeah, we tried to hold his own race, try and crack on. We were following Luke. Luke opened the door a bit. We had a little bit of contact coming through, nothing too major, and it opened it up for me, so I managed to take the lead.
That's it.
So yeah, we were doing well. I seen Steffi behind me. She were fighting with Norbert, so I knew it was my chance to get away.
Yeah.
And coming to the end, I seen Norbert behind me, and I defended a bit, but I had a slight lock up, and he just opened the door for him. But overall, brilliant.
And the chrome win as well. I mean, that's a nice thing to take away, isn't it?
Oh, definitely, yeah, it is. So yeah, perfect weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you go and celebrate, get ready for the champagne spreading everywhere, and have a good one.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you very much. There we go. They're going to head to the podium now. All right, Chaz, back to you.
Thank you very much, Louise. It was very, very good to hear from Mark Taylor after that one. Still in very, very good spirits. This is how the championship looks then after 8 races this season. 7 of them have been won by Norbert Kish. He's top of the pile with 106 points. Sasha Lenz on 70, 62 points to Antonio Albacetti. He now moves up into 3rd position in the standings. Jochen Hahn is 4th with 57 points. Steffi Halm in 5th with 50. René Reinert on 6th position with 38 points. He's then just ahead of Jose Eduardo Rodriguez and Lucas Hahn. Again, another testament to how well Lucas did at Misano. He's still ahead of Mark Taylor in the championship. John Newell finds himself in 10th place at the moment after a bit of a semi-successful weekend on his part. Bradley Smith, after DNFing that race, will be in 11th place with 11 points as well, which is ironic considering that was his race number last year. Stefan Faas is 12th with Luke Garrett 13th, Stefan Kirsch in 14th. Then we have Louis Requenco and Jonathan Andre. They're all the drivers so far with points scored in the overall standings. And then in the Chrome Championship, it's Truck 81 with 81 points. Mark Taylor leads the way from John Newell on 78 points. Stefan Faas is in 3rd place, nice and competitive still, with Lucas Hahn in 4th. Luke Garrett now moves up into 5th place, 1 point clear of Bradley Smith. Then we have Stefan Kirsch and Louis Requenco, very close all the way through the Chrome class once again. Currently running in 9th place is Clemens Hecker ahead of Jonathan Andre. We have 10 drivers that have scored points so far in Chrome. Let's have a look at some highlights from that race, shall we? So the cloud cover was quite a question over the start of the race, but the sun shone very, very quickly, and we had 2 3-wide scenarios off the front of the grid. Bradley Smith, unfortunately, having some sort of failure as the race got underway. The truck was giving him no power, only black smoke out of the side, and he wasn't able to continue on in the race. Luke Garrett held the race lead for half of the first lap, and then Mark Taylor managed to get through down the inside. Steffi Halm also got through in the opening laps, and with a little bit of argy-bargy here and there, the battle started to rage in the middle of the field. Norbert Kish got past René Reinert while Bradley Smith returned to the paddock, but it was a fantastic race at the front of the order while Luke tried to hold on. Antonio Albacetti went down the inside here of Luke, giving numerous positions to Norbert Kish and making his life that little bit easier. René Reinert was waiting in the wings to try and take places as well. But at the midpoint of the race, they were all so close together. And bodywork being shed from Luke Garrett in very dramatic fashion was one of the key things to keep an eye out for. Norbert Kish eventually got past Steffi Halm for 2nd place, while this defensive move from Luke Garrett had a little bit of contact with Sasha Lenz. Norby's move here down the inside on Steffi into turn 8. Louis Requenco and Stefan Faas were close together. A little lock up here and some contact meant that their battle was thrown into jeopardy. But into the final laps, it was Norbert Kish chasing down Mark Taylor for the race victory. And this wonderful move to set up a little mistake from Mark on the final lap meant that Norby could go through and go on to take his 4th race victory of the weekend. And here is the podium presentation then for the top 3.
Number 4, the 3rd place, Steffi Halm, Germany.
At the moment, it's rather quiet down there at the minute. Third place goes to Steffi Halm. She makes her way up onto the podium. I couldn't quite hear the announcer there, so I do apologise. Second place to Mark Taylor after a valiant defence in that race. I'm sure he'll be really pleased to come away with a number of championship points as a result. But Norbert Kiss takes his 4th win of the weekend. And you can hear just how much the fans around here appreciate that. They're all here to see him and making the trip over from Hungary to do so. Now the Hungarian national anthem. You could hear the fans there starting to sing the national anthem. And look at the amount of support that he has here in Slovakia. It's great to see it, isn't it? And now the drivers will receive their trophies. Steffi Halm gets her 3rd place trophy. Very happy with that one. Mark Taylor gets an overall 2nd place. Nice and reserved as ever from Mark. And then the race winner, once again, Norbert Kish.
Great races, great weekend, great family photo at the podium of 3.
Now they will have their pictures taken on the top step of the podium.
We've got the family photo also with another caps, I think. No? We show.
They will do the changing of the caps in just a moment, I believe. They have their Goodyear hats and then pictures over to their right-hand side.
Yes.
And now it's time to change the caps, something that is quite unique to truck racing. You don't really see it many other series all around the world.
Big applause for this photo.
And there you go, a big round of applause from the fans there near the podium. Norby is really soaking it up. You can see him say sorry to Mark there for putting his arm in front of him. And now it's time for champagne. And if Norby doesn't get soaked here, then I don't think Steffi and Mark have done a good enough job. I think they're waiting to get an opportunity to drench him while he drenches the fans. In fact, actually, Mark's the one who's ended up soaked. A little bit of a champagne fight on the go, but it's always good fun. And that is the overall podium completed for the final time this weekend.
Thank you very much for being with us the whole weekend. Thank you. And now is the time for Wing Food Trophy by Goodyear.
And now we should get the chrome podium underway in just a sec. And this again will feature Mark Taylor at the top of it. 3 British drivers to make their way to the podium this time round. Oh, actually, apologies, I've got my order wrong. Sasha Lenz wins the Goodyear Wingfoot Award here this weekend. And as you can see, it means a lot to him. He is absolutely overjoyed. And our representative from Goodyear will hand it over to him. And that is going to mean a lot to Sasha and the team. Awesome to see it. Things you love to see. This. Sasha is over the moon. It's a big honour to the drivers and teams. He's getting high fives all around from just about everybody now. I thought somebody was just going to ask him for a hat. Oh, and there you go. The hat has been passed over. Chrome podium now. John Newell, 3rd place. A solid weekend for John. He's just 3 points off the top of the Chrome Championship now. Luke Garrett moves right up in the standings with a great defensive drive in that race. Second place in Chrome. He's already undoing the cork look, is Luke. He's right ahead of the game here to make sure that he can soak Mark. That was cheeky from Luke. I don't think he thinks nobody saw that. And now we should get the British national anthem.
Actually, this was the anthem for...
I can promise you the British national anthem was playing there, but I certainly couldn't hear it. But here are the trophies being presented to our top three. John Newell for third place in the final race of the weekend. He's had a number of top 10 finishes. In fact, he's finished every race this season in the top 10 overall, so he's having a really good run of form. Luke Garrett there with 2 podiums back-to-back today. He's had a really good Sunday here at the Slovakia ring. And then for the 4th time this weekend in Chrome, Mark Taylor takes the victory. He now leads the Chrome Championship with 81 points, very fittingly with truck number 81 at his control. And now the top 3 will all have their pictures taken. And as you saw, Luke Garrett has already half undone the cork on his champagne bottle, so he should be right ahead of the game here to spray Mark. We saw him do it. We knew what the game was. They've got to have a lot of fun with this, and it's good to see them enjoying themselves. Fantastic feel-good atmosphere up there on the podium to complete the weekend here with the Chrome class. John Newell throws his hat into the audience. Luke will do the same. They love their Goodyear caps around here, it seems. And Mark Taylor now absolutely soaked. And then they will prepare for, I believe, the team's podium. I think John just handed his trophy over to somebody as well, actually, just there. Very intriguing. But that looks like the end of the podium presentations here. We don't have 3 young drivers in Category 4 this weekend, so we will not have a young drivers podium because we have just the 2 of them. And I've just had the word through that despite the move from Antonio Albacetti on Luke Garrett, there is no time penalty or anything added, but he has been given a reprimand for the contact as he was judged to not leave sufficient room on the exit. So I'm told now that Louise will have just an interview ready in a second. So for now, I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you for listening to me this weekend, and I'll hand back to Louise.
Well, there you have it. I don't know if we've got any interviews coming down, but I think Norby is well and truly with his fans right now. I'm not too sure if we're going to be able to chat to him because he's got loads of fans here this weekend. But it has been absolutely fantastic. I'll give it a wee minute. I don't really know, but what a great race weekend this has been. It has absolutely been awesome. The weather has been wonderful, and Slovakia has been up to its usual standards, I think, as well, which has been absolutely lovely. I'm just going to keep an eye just in case we do get anyone. Here he is. Come on in. Norby, how was that for you?
A good race. I was trying to take it safe.
Yes.
Because Johan was not there, so in the championship we already had a big gap because of his unfortunate technical issues.
Yeah.
But still, the opportunities were coming, all the time with Antonio diving Luke, and then giving me, the space to overtake both of them at the same time, and then I was catching everybody, So again, I would have been happy, with P2 or whatever.
Absolutely.
But I reached Mark in the last lap, and then
Up a bit of a fight, didn't he? But,
yeah, same. You know, I made him move, I made him defend, and then he made a mistake. He outbraked himself and then gave me the opportunity to easily go in front, and then good race. So very proud of the weekend. 4 victories, really nice.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. And it's been lovely as well to see how many fans you've been here. It's been nice to have the fan support here this weekend for you as well.
Really nice to do it here in the Slovakia ring in front of basically our home fans. So yeah, really proud of the team, Reves Racing. You know, they did an amazing job again. We had the speed, we had the reliability. So yeah. Good weekend.
Congratulations, you had a cracking weekend, Orby. So go and enjoy yourself. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. All right, we're going to have a quick chat with Steffi Halm as well. Come on in. How are you feeling after the weekend?
Yeah, for the weekend, in the end, it was okay. Yeah. With finishing 2 times on the podium. Yeah. But I'm still struggling a little bit because I'm not fast enough, especially in the qualifyings. But I think for the Nürburgring we will be prepared.
Hey, look at that fighting talk. We love to see that, Steffi. Well, congratulations. And we're looking forward to seeing you at the Nürburgring. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, I'm looking forward for it because it's a great event. See you there.
Hey, look at that. Thank you so much, Steffi. Thank you. Congratulations. Well, there we have it. What a wonderful race for. And to conclude the whole weekend, the weather's been lovely. Slovakia has been absolutely amazing. And we are going to see you in the Nürburgring in a couple of weeks' time. We'll see you there.